my name is Ameliya Adam. Now, I will explain you about material introduction to literature. This video is my final project for the UAS. There's some material I'm going to discuss here, which is the matter to the 9 meeting and the last meeting. At the 9 meeting, our material at the time so have been a presentation. Because we didn't have the chance to make it, we were given the task of analyzing the poetry that had been shared by the lecturer. I got a poem titled My Heart Lifts Up by William Wordsworth. And a list of our poetry has been collected as fulfillment of the text. I will read the poetry. My Heart Lifts Up by William Wordsworth. My heart lifts up when I behold a rainbow in the sky. So was it when my life began? So is it now I am a man. So be it when I shall grow old or let me die. The child is father of the man. And I call wish my days to be both age to age and natural thing. On the surface, William's poems, My Heart Lifts Up, is about the simple beauty of a rainbow. Looking at it more closely, the poet is saying that people should maintain their sense of childlike wonder into adult old age. He is saying that nature, symbolized by the rainbow, for him will always define, and he thinks it should be for everyone. The analysis will begin by examining the poem line by line. At the 10 meeting, we were divided into several groups for presentation with different material. Group 1, receive period of American literature material. Group 2, receive period of English literature material. And Group 3, receive of phenomenology and criticism material. At the 11 meeting, group presented their material, namely the period of American literature. Literature in this era begins when there is a flair of each person because of that there is a deep interest in a science, a desire to maintain culture and tradition, and a belief in non-excessive attitude and self-excitement. There are 8 periods in this era, namely the colonial period, 1607 until 1775. The majority were historical, practical, or religious in nature. The revolutionary period, age 1765 until 1790, was famous for the political writings of Benjamin Franklin, Alexander Hamilton, and late in the 18th and early 19th centuries that the nation's first novel was published. In early national period 1775 until 1828, William Hills Brown made a novel entitled The Power of Sympathy, published in 1791. Brown's novel describes a tragic love story between siblings who fall in love without knowing they are related. The American Renaissance, 1828 until 1865, romantic story turned to folklore as a source of inspiration that also illustrates their interest and the attention of ordinary people. Nathaniel Hawthorne published his book, The Scarlet Letter, a novel about a daughter. The greatest American poem of the 19th century, Werewolf with Men, and Emily Dickinson. The realistic period, 1865 until 1900, towards the end of the 19th century, writers turned away from romantic stories and tried to portray real life. 1900 until 1914, natural rights tried to portray a real and accurate life. The strong naturalist movement consisting of writers such as Edith Wharton, Stephen Crane, Theodore Dreiser, and Jack London. Then the modern period. The modern period, age 1914 until 1939, modernists tried to capture the essence of modern life, but in the form and content of their work. And the last, the contemporary period, age 1939 until present. From the end of World War II to the early 1970, many popular works in modern American literature were produced. The next presentation was the period of English literature by Group 2, the earliest literary Anglo-Saxon period, or the earliest time, 1066. The Anglo-Saxon national epic, one of the striking feature alliterative use. Medieval period, 1066 until 15th century, Norman conquest under William Duke of Normandy, who the Battle of Hastings in 1066, a sign of the establishment of feudalism, ballad, the most important department of English literature. English Renaissance, 15th and 16th centuries, Hundred Years' War and Civil War, weakening of nobility and the rise of the bourgeoisie, new monarchy, Reformation and weakening of the power of the Queen. His reputation is known as the Poet Poet. The highest Renaissance English drama with Christopher Marlowe, Shakespeare, and Ben Jonson. Revolution and Restoration period, 7th century. Clashes between king and parliament. Civil War between 1642 and 1649. Charles was exalted in 1649. Commonwealth Cromwell's decline and compromise with feudal remnants. Enlightenment period, 18th century. Modern mid-century novels are dominated by new realistic novel. Defoe, Swift, Richardson, Hankes, Smollett, and Stamps as representative description of adventure. Romantic period, the turn of the 18th and 19th centuries. Two important revolutions of the French Revolution, 1789 until 1794, and the British Industrial Revolution literature. The Romantic period is the era of poetry. Wordsworth, Coleridge, Byron, Shelley, and Keats are the main Romantic prose and novelist writers. Critical realist period, mid and late 19th century, struggle between workers and capitalists, Curtis Motion, Victor, and the last modern period. Modern period, age 20th century, modernism arises from skepticism and disappointment of capitalism, taking irrational philosophy and psychoanalytic theory as its theoretical foundation. Realistic novels in the 20th century continuation of the Victorian tradition. The outstanding figures are John Galsworthy, Wells, and Arnold Bennett, with a strong swing of left themes in the 1930 novelists began to turn their attention to urgent social problems. So guys, the last material of phenomenology and criticism. The philosophical perspective and method called phenomenology was founded by German thinker Edmund Husserl 1859 until 1938. He proposed that consciousness is a deliberate, intentional act. He intentionally did not mean that it was intentionally done, but always directed at an object. In other words, to be aware of something. Phenomenological criticism is often applied spectacularly to the practice of Geneva School of Critics.
I got a condo in Manhattan. Baby girl, what's happening?